nice.
Back in business, boys.
Nice segue into it. Just the hell
It's
yeah.
been a while.
It's definitely been a while. But yeah, we are on episode.
I was gonna say I have no clue what episode it is. 69?
Yeah, 48. So
48.
close. Yeah.
Damn, I wasn't even memeing. I legitimately thought we were in the 60s.
No, we're almost to 50. Which on the 50th episode we should get like blackout wasted.
Oh.
Okay, we're done. I know you're afraid to drink. I'll just drink more.
Oh.
I'll drink more lactose beer and throw up.
God.
God, what a terrible move. But yeah, anyway, so welcome back to the KillCam podcast. Like I said, episode 48. There is a lot of stuff that's happened between this episode and the last one. We'll touch on some of the bigger things, and like over time, we'll kind of catch back up on like, some of the smaller stuff, but we'll try to keep it a little bit more straightforward this episode. Like, I kind of wanted to talk about, the Twitch hot tub meta is like the move now. That's like all everyone's had their eyes on. So it's like, I want to talk about that, explain that, and see some things that Twitch is kind of doing wrong, I think. And then, games I've been playing, games I'm looking forward to. And then I kind of want to talk about Sony making their move to the PC market, which I'm a fan of. And I'm sure you can touch more on that as well, because you've actually been playing Sony games.
And then I've got a few topics to cover for some things that we mentioned in the past, just to bring up again. But otherwise, it's going to be a pretty relaxed cast.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I guess we'll start with, if you remember, I don't know how many casts ago, when we were talking about Apple versus Epic, which had been an issue where Epic had figured out a way, and I don't even fully remember the story at this point, but I'm pretty sure Epic had found out a way to host Fortnite or something, host one of their games without having to pay Apple their 15 to 30% commission that it collects.
It was that or
transaction.
Okay, yeah, it was like I was say it didn't have to do with like microtransactions, since they were like essentially bypassing Apple's cut of the microtransactions.
So, if you know anything about law, you know that 99.9999999% of cases never go to trial. Somebody settles, you come to an agreement, everybody moves on.
Yeah, no one wants to go to court.
Nobody wants to go to court. So as of this week, and today it's May 27th, as of this week, the trial has started between Apple and Epic, which, not to use their name again, but that's an epic trial. That's a big money trial going on here. And this is a trial that's going to last months. But all I wanted to mention about it was that it's happening finally. They're in court, and right now it's actually in a U.S. district court. And
what does that mean?
Like, say that again.
Like, why did you emphasize that it was a U.S. district court? Like, does that mean something about the case, or is that like?
Oh no, I just said it like that. I don't know. I don't know. But what's interesting so far is that during this first week of testimony and trial and challenges from each of the lawyers, the judge has apparently been hammering Apple significantly harder than she's been hammering Epic, to where even this early in the case, like I'm going to read directly, this is an article from the News and Observer by Michael Leitke, Liedtke, AP technology writer, and I'm just going to read a paragraph from it. The judge's name is Yvonne Gonzalez Rogers. And so from the article, Gonzalez Rogers' line of questioning suggests that at this point she sides with much of the defense, which is Epic, that Apple has mounted to justify the 15 to 30% commission it collects for in-app transactions on the iPhone to help pay for the technology powering its devices.
Okay.
And just continuing a little further, Epic Games has been trying to prove that the fees are a price gouging tool of monopoly hatched within the walled garden, quote unquote, Apple has built within its platforms.
Damn. All right. I mean, as someone who's not an Apple fan, it's kind of funny to see Apple just getting like dicked currently. So I'm kind of in.
I actually realized I read this backwards. It sounds like the judge is, when I reread this, it sounds like the judge is siding with Apple here at the beginning.
Oh, really?
Now that I'm rereading it, yeah.
Okay, well, shit. All right.
But we'll see. Nobody knows. I mean, this thing's going to last for a while. It's finally in court. We'll see what happens.
I'm wondering, like, because like you said, 99.99 or whatever, like they settle. I'm wondering why one of them didn't settle. Do you think it's at this point? Because it's like, going to court, like, I feel like, you're put in the spotlight and it's like, it's a very delicate PR move and like everyone's going to see the outcome. So it's like, is this just them trying to outflex each other or something like that? Or like, if you had to make a guess.
Yeah, if I had to make a guess, I would say that if I was Epic, I would say I want to take Apple to court because you have exponentially more to lose than I do.
Okay.
At the end of the day. You know what I mean? And if I was Apple, I would say I don't want to go to court, but I'm also not going to let you get away with this because if I let you get away with this, what's the next thing that somebody's going to try to sue me for around my practices tomorrow?
Okay, yeah. Okay, so So it's not like they're both flexing like, fuck it, we can do this. They actually have, like, essentially each side is setting a precedent.
I think so, yeah. I mean, I think Epic is just like, if we lose, we lose. But we already lost because Apple's already, fucked us.
And then meanwhile, Epic's just rolling in, like, crazy amounts of money from Fortnite.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, well, at least, like I said, now it's in court. So now we'll definitely, shit's going to start happening. So it'll be fun to follow that. Well, I guess, speaking of shit kind of
dude, you mind if I go get in a hot tub in a bikini?
So yeah, actually, that was actually what I was going to talk about since shit's all in the spotlight or whatever. So for I don't even know how long, it was a while.
I don't actually care about your streaming content. Just show me your tits.
So like
is that okay?
Yeah, go for it. Well, actually, so now it is. So for the longest time, like Twitch was kind of dodging the question in terms of like, are hot tub streams right or wrong? Are you going to do anything about them? Yes or no? Like yada yada. Twitch was just kind of like dodging the questions whenever they even had an AMA and like they pretty much dodged any question that involved that. But now there is a category on Twitch. I believe it's called like pools, hot tubs, and beaches or something like that. So there is like a dedicated category for hot tub streamers on Twitch, which I kind of agree with. It's like, what, at least they came out and said something. Like they either needed to condone it or just like disown it. At least they condoned it and they set its own like category up. So it's like, all right, you want to watch that? Here's a category. Now people doing just chatting or whatever, like the just chatting streamers will kind of be the ones in that category now. People have also memed it. I know a lot of people love putting Geralt from The Witcher when he's in the fucking bathtub. I know a lot of people.
I like that.
A lot of people have just been putting that as like a hot tub stream, and they'll just have that like video on repeat, which I think is kind of funny. But like, so they did that. But the thing that was weird of it is, the top, I guess you could say the top Twitch hot tub streamer and one of the top streamers on Twitch overall, Amaranth. She got her ad revenue pulled, so she is not advertiser friendly as what Twitch calls it. So she's not getting any revenue from ads on her channel or anything like that, which for someone as big as she is, I mean, she's one of the top Twitch streamers. I think they said it's estimated she makes $500,000 a year from ads alone, which that's insane. But, they didn't really tell her why she lost it because there's no breach of like contract, especially now that they added a hot tub category. So a lot of people are being like, all right, Twitch is like going back to its just doing shit to screw over its creators without telling them why or like pointing out what contract or what breach they violated. So I think it's gonna be interesting to see where this goes, like if they'll reinstate it or if they're gonna start cracking down on, like maybe that's what they're gonna do. They're using her and they're gonna start going after hot tub streamers. That's like, hey, we have this category for you, but it's not advertiser friendly, so we're gonna pull your chance to make ad revenue. I don't know. Like I said, this just happened, so I'm curious to see what the like fallout of this is gonna be.
So I am on Twitch right now. And yes, it is live now. Just Chatting still has 600,000 viewers, but Pools, Hot Tubs, and Beaches has 27,000 viewers.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I've already been very vocal about how annoyed I was by this. So what I'll say is the fact that there's a designated area for it, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? I wasn't irritated that people were doing it. I was irritated that it was like, oh, we're a gaming platform. Here's hot tubs. It's like, no. Take a step back. But they created a section for it. This is now where that content should go. People are, as long as people follow it, I don't have an issue with people doing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I'm just glad that they finally came out and at least said like yes or no to it, which I mean, because I'm pretty sure hot tub streams, they've been going for months and months. Like they've been going for a while without any answer. So it's like, Twitch in typical Twitch fashion waits a really long fucking time. And then they're like, all right, cool. Well, here's your answer.
And to be clear, in just chatting, it's still pretty racy, but it's not the same amount as people in hot tubs and doing things like that.
Oh, I'm sure people, because the just chatting's like pretty much. I think just chatting, other than like League of Legends and Counter Strike, just chatting's always going to be like the most popular one. So of course people are still going to do it just because there's more eyes in that category. But I also had seen somewhere that I guess Twitch staff is going to be going through just chatting, and it's like if you're in the just chatting and you're doing a hot tub stream, they'll manually change your category from just chatting to pools, hot tubs, and beaches. Which I was like, okay, that's interesting.
All I'm going to say is pools, hot tubs, and beaches has more viewers right now than Modern Warfare, Rocket League. I'm just looking through some of these big name games. Resident Evil Village, the new Resident Evil, by the way. Siege, Biomutant.
Put Lady Demet, whatever her name is, in hot tub.
Right. Obviously, I'm only saying that just to point out, like this is not a small change for Twitch. Like this is a big move.
And so something I saw, I forgot. I wish I would have saved. Like it was like a tweet or whatever. I wish I would have saved it because it was the person had like they hit the nail on the head. But their concern was that while it's good that Twitch is like, hey, we have your own category now, someone compared it and they called it Twitch is starting to get a quote red light district. And I was like, that's an interesting way of putting it because it's like, Twitch primarily gaming and like kind of anything geek culture platform or whatever. And it's like, now they have a dedicated like hot tub stream, which it's like, what, people can stream it. I don't care. But it's like, you know what you're getting going into that. And it's like, is this going to be the start of like a more adult side of Twitch, Like that's what someone said is like there's like this is pretty much the start of a red light district, and I was like, okay, that's a very interesting way of thinking of it. I don't think that's how it's gonna go, but the foundation is being laid out if it wants to go that way.
I mean, yeah, how long is it until Twitch has a, like you said, adult Twitch section that you have to be 18 and it's private and it's essentially an OnlyFans?
Yeah, and like I said, I don't think it'll go that route, but who knows? Like I said, with the foundations they're laying, it's easier for them to go that route now.
Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, for right now, I'm happy with it. I wanted there to be a separate area for that.
Yeah, exactly.
Get it away from me. I'm not trying to see that. You know what I mean?
You just want to go on and watch 40K Talisman streams.
Yeah, like us. We're the only ones. Nice.
Dude, so I checked it out. Let me see if I can actually find it. So like games as a whole, like if you click, like Modern Warfare, like let's say I'm clicking Apex Legends, the game itself has like 12.5 million followers, which I think means like all the people who watch it, it just adds up all the content creators or whatever for it. Horus Heresy Talisman as a whole has 150 followers.
God, that's badass.
I checked that the other day and I was just laughing because it's like, dude, it's such a tiny, that's got to be one of the smallest communities ever. Like, just for reference, I'm just going to look up another Warhammer 40K game. Let's see. Warhammer 40,000. Let's do Dawn of War Classic. That game's got 6.3 thousand followers. Inquisitor Martyrs got 16.2 thousand. Okay. I'm kind of in with that. What about 40K Titanicus, whatever that shitty game
God,
is?
this game looks so bad.
Long story short, like Titans, which are just like walking battle churches, like there's a game for it that we found, but it looks it looks so terrible. But yeah. So one more thing I wanted to, well, I had a couple things, but one of the things I wanted to talk about, I've been following this game for years, but Dying Light 2 officially got a release date of December 7th.
Good.
And it's called Dying Light 2 Stay Human, and I can't fucking wait. I am a diehard fan of the first Dying Light, so I'm like, this game's already been delayed, I think twice, so I'm just like, please don't fucking delay it again. But the fact that they're slating a December release date gives me hope, because it's like, all right, that's at the end of the year. Y'all have had a lot of time. We should be good. And then we get Cyberpunk.
Oh God.
Speaking of Cyberpunk, you've been playing more of that. So how has that game been feeling and like playing since, I don't even know how many patches it's had. I know it's had a lot.
I mean, it's better. It still needs more patches, but I can objectively say I have enjoyed it. I'm enjoying it.
What patches does it need? Like
More
if
patches.
All right,
Just more in general. Just like more. I don't know how to describe it other than that. It just needs more patches.
Like
it's not as clean as it should be.
Okay. I didn't know if there were like specific glitches or things you were seeing that you were like, this needs to be patched, or if it just needs to be like an overall more polished game.
No, but I'm actually glad you said that, because that leads me into something I was going to talk about. I was going to talk about Far Cry 5, which I played a lot of in a short amount of time, and then I put it down.
Yeah.
I realized
that was the one in like where you're in like Montana, right, or something, and there's like that kind of like crazy cult dude or whatever.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Just wanted to make sure.
So essentially, one of the things people knock really hard about Cyberpunk was the AI, right?
I know where this is going.
The Far Cry AI was just as bad, but it didn't get blown up. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's just like, I'm not defending Cyberpunk by any stretch, because Cyberpunk wasn't supposed to be. I mean, Cyberpunk was supposed to be something tiers ahead of Far Cry 5. Mm-hmm. But just in games I've been playing, like a lot of the mechanics, I'll pick one specific mechanic, is like when an enemy's looking for you, they might walk right by you and just not see you.
Yeah.
Or they might walk right by you, and like while they're walking by, the gauge of their awareness of you starts going up, and then as soon as they pass you, it's gone. And so that mechanic exists in a lot of games, but only Cyberpunk's getting roasted for it. If that makes sense.
I think we've talked about this like off-cast before, but it's like stealth mechanics and like NPCs like cone of vision is so god awful. Like I see it happen in Call of Duty all the time, where like, there will be someone like 10 feet away, and it's like realistically, like they can see you like without like not even their peripheral vision. It's like just off to the side. It's like you're like 10 feet away, and it's like they just don't notice you. Or the biggest meme is like, Skyrim, you shoot someone in the head with an arrow, and they're like, who's there? Must have been nothing. Just walks away with an arrow in his head.
Yeah.
Like stealth is one of the things that I don't know if games will ever get locked down. That and like communication, because Call of Duty, another thing is like you'll be like right behind like enemies or whatever, and your NPC allies like, all right, well, we're gonna kill these guys, and it's like, dude, these people realistically could hear you. You're 3 inches behind them, like talking regular volume. But yeah, I mean, so yeah, I get what you mean, because it's like, you can't bitch about it in one game and let it slide in another.
Right. That's my only point. I'm not defending Cyberpunk, because it's got plenty of its own issues. But one other thing before I forget, since you mentioned Skyrim, I know we've talked about this offcast too.
I know where this is going. I'm so excited.
Skyblivion finally got another update. And for those who don't remember, Skyblivion is modders taking Skyrim's engine and mechanics and all of that, and
assets, graphics, everything,
and putting Oblivion, the story, the characters, everything from Oblivion into that Skyrim engine. Which,
if you're not like understanding, like that's massive, because Skyrim is, it's a great game, but I feel like Oblivion was more loved than Skyrim. Like that might be a hot take, but it's like I feel like when
Oblivion was better.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people, and it's like you talk about Elder Scrolls, are like, oh, I love Skyrim, but Oblivion was better, and it's like, man, like that game really has a following.
And so I've complained about this in the past, about how this mod has been in development since I think it was like 2010, 2011. So 10 plus years at this point.
Probably since Skyrim came out, let's be real.
Yeah. And they finally released, they still don't have a beta, they don't have an alpha, they don't have any playable assets, they don't have anything you can get in and like test. You have nothing you can download at this point. It's been 10 plus years. And so I remember on a previous cast I had made the comment that if they want anybody to give a shit about this, they need to finish it.
Yeah.
They need to finish it now. And if you Google them, you can like see their page. And before this most recent update, they just had like a Q&A with the guy who started it. And it kind of was just like beefing him up. And it's like, why don't you just fucking finish this thing, man? And you can hear my frustration growing. So anyways, in the most recent video, they had like a 20-minute video where they're showing you, can't use them, by the way. They're just showing you in a controlled environment some of the assets that they've created and things that are inside of this Skyblivion. And I got really pissed because, remember, this is a volunteer project, a.k.a. everybody on this is not being paid. They're all doing it under their free time, which I respect. And it's just not.
They're doing it because you love the game, yeah.
Yeah, it's just not getting done. And so in this video, they had the narrator had made a comment that after their recent posts and recent updates, they had gotten a huge influx of interest from volunteers wanting to help. Remember, volunteers wanting to help you finish the game you haven't been able to do in 10 years. And in this video, again, the narrator straight up goes, we had a lot of interest. Not everyone made the cut. What fucking cut? You mean the cut to not finish it? Like, what's the cut here? People are trying to help. People are offering all the skills they have. Any skills. I'm sure somebody offered to project manage. I'm sure somebody offered to voice act. I'm sure somebody offered to write quests. I'm sure somebody offered to develop a blade of grass in the game. Oh, you didn't make the cut. What the fuck is the cut? What's the cut? It's been 10 years. Nobody can even get in and use the game. You can't do anything in the game. There's not a single asset that's available for download. There's nothing. Oh, you didn't make the cut. And again, when I hear a comment like that for a project that's this out of whack, it just tells me that these people that are running this Skyblivion project, they've never run anything in their lives and they have no fucking clue what's going on. So get the fuck out of here.
You got really heated real fast.
Yeah, well, it's just like, well, think about that. They just insulted all these people who volunteered to help.
Yeah, exactly.
You didn't make the cut. Oh, my bad. If you need me to sit around and not finish something, I can do that. I can do that real good.
I mean, you said, like, I forgot because we talked about it off stream, and you said something along the lines of, like, if they would have been like, you know, we've had so many people reach out and, like, help or whatever. But, like, I forgot how you worded it.
I worded it in a way of, like, a professional, which was, oh, like, we're super appreciative of all the support of people trying to reach out and help, but we've got more help right now than we can use.
Exactly.
Boom,
yeah.
Done. Now you didn't make the cut. What cut? What fucking cut?
The Zack Snyder cut.
No.
With how fucking long this.
I almost turned off my computer.
With how long this shit's taking, that's not us.
So I apologize if anybody didn't like that, but I mean, to me, that pisses me off. That's stupid. You didn't make the cut. What cut? What's the cut? What cut? You mean the cut where I volunteered to help? Fuck you. I mean, I know I've mentioned this on a prior cast too. Like, I like to write in my free time, and there was like a Fallout 3 mod or Fallout New Vegas mod years and years ago called like Lone Star that they had opened up, and they were like, they were reaching out and asking specifically for people to help write side quests. And so like I had responded to that email, and I was like, I sent like a sample of like a short story I had written. And I was like, I'd love to help, just give me, what do you have in mind for a quest? And I'll take it from there. And just no fucking response. And of course, the mod never got done. It shut down. It's nice. Like these people that start these things, it's like, I don't know, they shouldn't be in control of them. I don't know how to describe it. You didn't make the cut.
I mean, you sent your
shit in. You didn't make the cut.
I'm looking through the comments of that video, and I'd like one of the comments a little bit down, and some guy was like, they could start selling horse armor to generate financial support.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck are they doing? Like, you can't even download a demo. There's nothing.
It's like, I get it, like, remaking a game is.
It's been 10 years.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, I know it's a challenge, but it's like at this point, you know, like almost, I feel like any help you can get, like, take it. Even if it's like you said, it's just for the smallest thing. Like, take the help, start pushing shit out. You know.
So, anyways, I would adore this mod if it ever came out, but I really don't think it's ever going to come out.
Like, yeah, don't get me wrong. I mean, like, watching the video, they show a lot, and it's like, it's looking so good, and it's like, playing it will be insane if we ever get the chance to do it. Because it's like, oh man, Cyrodiil was like the coolest world.
So that's my anger for the day. But
Hell yeah.
yeah, I would like to play that mod, but I just don't have faith that it's ever going to be finished when you have people that have that kind of mentality at the top. Like, yes. Whoever's running this, whoever's the quote unquote CEO of this project, definitely watched that video before it came out and they gave a thumbs up to it.
Yeah, and they were like, good job.
Yeah, they're like, oh, this is badass. So it's probably doomed.
Yeah, all right. We'll see in 10 years. We'll follow up in 10 years on this.
Follow up in 10 years.
On our, like, 60th episode at that point. So something, you know, that's a pretty shitty move what they're making. So a developer that I think's making some really good moves is Sony. And it's like, you know, I've been like an Xbox fan. Like, I like what they're doing for their business models, how they're like, you know, play on PC, play on Xbox, like here's Game Pass and stuff. Sony's starting to push their games on, not push, but like they're starting to release their, like, you know, they're pretty big selling games on PC. Like, I know you got Death Stranding, Days Gone is out, Horizon Zero Dawn. And it's like, you know, everyone's always like, you know, Sony's single player games, like that's where they shine. And it's like, you know, they're exclusives, but now the fact that PC is getting these great games, it's like, I think what Sony's doing is I think that's a super smart, like, business move on their part. I mean, like, even like going like some of the other games they have, like, you know, another Sony exclusive game that came to PC was Predator Hunting Ground. I can't even fucking like talk about that in a joking way without just laughing because it's such a shithole. It's like
it didn't make the cut.
That game didn't make the cut. In terms of ports, that's a terrible port. But like, I mean, I haven't played any of these games. I'm gonna probably grab Days Gone on a sale because I heard it's like, you know, a shorter, more like cinematic style game. So it's like, oh, I'll play it. I do want to, but I know you've been playing Death Stranding, and it's like, from what you've told me, it plays well on PC. It's supported very well, like in terms of like ultra wide support and graphics. So it's like, I think that's a good move on Sony's part. I'm waiting for God of War to come out on PC.
Yeah, I'm having a great time playing Death Stranding on PC. I have it on PlayStation, and I played the first few hours, and I think it's a unique game. I'll give it that. And I don't think I was just in the right headspace to play it at the time. But I mean, yeah, it plays perfectly on PC. I think it looks it should look better. It does look better on PC.
You got a 3080, it better look better than it does on PS5 or 4.
Yeah, the only knock against it, and you already know my thoughts on Kojima, where it's just like, just because you put, you know, piano music in a game doesn't make it fucking deep. You know what I mean? Like that kind of shit. So the only real knock I can have against it is, and I think it's a Norman Reedus thing, because he does it in Walking Dead too. Like, just like getting asked a question and going and like grunting is not deep either. By the way, FYI. Like, just grunting in response to shit is not deep.
What about
you know what I'm talking about, though? He's always just like.
What about Witcher?
It is deep for Geralt.
he can get away with it. I mean, I think that is more a Norman Reedus thing, because it's like, yeah, I haven't played Death Stranding, but it's like, once you said it, I was thinking about Walking Dead. It's like, yeah, he does it all the time. That just said,
It's just like that. That doesn't make what you're saying or what you're feeling deep. Sorry.
That's also very prevalent in Japanese games. Like, you'll see it in JRPGs, or like even look at like any Japanese media, like animes and stuff like that. Like, even if it's not saying something, there's usually some sort of vocalization. But I'm hoping that more games will start coming. I'd love to see God of War, or maybe if they did like a Uncharted collection on the PC, or a Last of Us collection. Granted, I think they're like staggering their releases over time to like, milk the money on the PlayStation market and then come to the PC market, which I think it's a smart move, but I hope they don't stop doing this because I think that's just going to pay off big for them in the future.
Big time.
But yeah, I guess that's all I had to talk about.
Say that's all I have. We're hitting right at our 30-minute mark.
Any cool Valorant stuff you want to talk about?
Dude, fuck Valorant.
Dude, holy shit. Like, I'll have to find this article, but it was like it was this Reddit post where someone essentially was talking about why you get running one-tapped all the time and like how there's like latency in the game that like you're not aware of. So it's like even though it looks like you're getting one-tapped, like they actually are able to like get a pause and a shot off. But because of the latency and ping, you just see a running one-tap. And I'm like, that's a pretty fucking terrible like problem to have in your game.
Like a last gen issue.
But I just remembered, what was it? I think it was we were playing yesterday or something. There was that one point where you were just like sniping and straight up the dude just runs around corner, not stopping, just shoots once, hits you in the head and like dips out. And you're like, I was spectating. Yeah, and you were like, what the hell? And I was just sitting there spectating. I was like, I saw exactly what happened. That game has potential, but Jesus, man. Apparently there was a big tournament that happened over this weekend and like shit hit the fan in it. Like some team fucking blew it. I just saw a clip where someone tried to sneak up behind someone and knife them and they like miss and the person just turned around and killed them. And I'm like, dude, you're a professional at this game. You make money. That's a mistake that's a mistake that like people at us like bronze make. I carry you. I'm so good. Anyway. Well, yeah, this has been
that's it. I think that's been a good cast. I got
hell yeah. Like I said, we'll be trying to get more on a consistent schedule, especially with shit heating up with Epic versus Apple. There's probably going to be articles coming out daily.
But did you make the cut?
I'm curious to see who makes the cut between Apple and Epic.
Nice. Maybe it'll find out in 20 years. Fuck them, dude. Fuck them.
I did. He called me like when that happened and like linked me the video with the timestamp and everything, and he was just like, "Listen to this bullshit, fuck that!" Like just so mad. Sending it to like in our friend group, just like, "Look at this."
Well, it's just so stupid.
It was pretty bad. But yeah, like I said, this has been episode 48. We'll have to talk about Mortal Kombat next time.
Yes, we will.
Because I'm probably gonna rewatch it again just to like actually try and catch details and stuff.
You better hurry before it leaves HBO.
Wait, it's gonna leave?
Yeah, the movies are only there for a month.
Oh, I thought it was on there indefinitely. Fuck. All right then. I thought it was like it released there and then it's just
it's already gone.
Nice.
It didn't make the cut.
It really didn't make the cut. All right. Well, this has been episode 48. I'm K Stu. And I love the dramatic pause.
Are you smiling? Are you smiling now?
I am now.
And it's your boy, Big Ol' Savage now. God, it sounds so bad.
I'm leaving it in.
What a fucking shitty podcast.
God, we're so good.